Yes, you are reading that thumbnail and title right. Prize pools are gone from the LCS, from the LEC, and from the LCK. You get nothing, at least from Riot's side, for winning the actual tournament. All of this part of Riot's beginning of the year LoL Esports developer update, which we're going to go through in depth here. Real quick though, I know there are going to be some people tuning in to see, hey, what's the update on the North American tag team? As of right now, Griffin and Quad are still at the top due to the timing of the ladder refresh, but Yon and Core JJ are set to overtake them the second it happens. It is a tight race at the top. If you want to follow alongside that, I'm going to be limiting that to short form content for the rest of the weekend just because these YouTube videos are a little bit more to put out and it's harder for me to be as instantaneous with them. And especially during a live tournament, short form is just going to be better. By the time this video is live, I'll also have a conversation I had with Griffin available as a YouTube short, as a TikTok, and also available on Twitter as well. But back to the season start for League of Legends 2026 LoL Esports, which really doesn't see all that much change. In terms of general structure, it's exactly the same as it was last year, which is a good thing. We don't need all that much change in the space. We do want some continuity year over year. We don't need things changing 24/7. The first thing is the start dates. Yes, the LCS is starting a week later than everybody else, and I believe that's due to Valorant. Valorant is starting this weekend currently in the Riot Games Studio LA, and I'm assuming Riot doesn't want to start the year in the closet, so they're forcing the LCS to start the week after on the 24th. Plus, our format doesn't, it really isn't conducive to like that many games for the lock-in tournament. It is just lock-in, but like it is still the start of a worrying trend that we are starting a week later than everybody else and can get kind of brushed away in the chatter, because once the LCK and the LEC starts, it's like, okay, all the breadth of the conversation goes to them, and if you're not starting at the same time, you risk falling behind, which is a big problem, but we'll deal with that if the viewership is low to start everything off. First Stand returns this year, notably in Sao Paulo, Brazil, with 2 LCK teams and 2 LPL teams, which means we could potentially see a Chovy versus Faker final in every single international event this year. Why is that important? Well, it's important because only 200 people are going to get to see this one if it happens. And that's because First Stand is going to be held at the Sao Paulo, Brazil Riot Games Arena. What are we doing here, Riot? Like, seriously, this is an international tournament. Like, if you want this to be part of the big three, this is part of like the golden road per the website. If you want to win it all, you have to win First Stand, MSI, and Worlds. How are you going to host an international tournament in 2026 for League of Legends in front of a crowd of 200 people? You know that it could sell out 2,000 in any theater in Brazil. They're passionate, almost to a bad point, but I think overall it's still mostly fine. And you're limiting them to 200 people in a tiny ass like studio space. What are we doing here, Riot? I'm not trying to be overly negative all the time, but like these are the basics of things that just like I don't get it. There's no logical sense to this other than you just don't care about First Stand at the level that you do the others, which in that case, give it to somebody else. Give it to any other, like a DreamHack, you name it. Like find a way to incorporate it there. That way they can host a proper tournament with a proper crowd that lasts a week. Like, what are we doing? The one good thing about First Stand actually didn't come from this update. It came from the like general Riot dev update, which is apparently there's going to be a skin line that comes out in coordination with First Stand that will directly help the esports prize pool. Because in case you missed the update last year, global revenue pool now. Any skins that are designated as like esports skins, anybody that buys them, a percentage goes to teams and the overall global rev share pool that gets distributed out to every team across the LEC, the LCS, the LCK, and I believe the CV LoL as well. So at least that's a good thing. Going to MSI. It's going to Daejeon, South Korea, which also means, for the record, that Worlds will be in Korea next year again. You host MSI one year, you get Worlds the next. We don't know the venue yet. Apparently it's going to be like a brand new location, but Riot hasn't shared any information despite the tournament being only like 6 months away, which is a bit of a problem. Like, this is my biggest gripe with Riot in these LoL esports updates, is like we just don't know anything about like major locations of where things are at, and planning in advance is next to impossible because you don't know whether you're going to get tickets until like a month out. So do you book travel well in advance? Probably not. No. So it's like, ugh. And I get you want to cater to the local communities here, but like the local communities still need time in advance to put in their PTO requests if they want to go and beyond. Like, we got to be getting more event details out at a quicker pace here. This can't be the only MSI update at the beginning of the year, in my opinion. There needs to be more. I don't know what needs to happen on Riot side to get their logistics out quicker or get this or make this more effective. I know they've reduced staff in a lot of areas because they need it to be properly optimized and obviously profitable, but that's where we are. And finally, Worlds is coming to North America, which we knew. It's coming to New York for finals and Allen, Texas for literally everything else. Where in New York? Couldn't tell you. I have no clue. I heard Barclays Center. The fact that they're not even announcing a venue here worries me, to be completely honest. I would prefer it be MSG. That would obviously be way better. It's nothing against the Barclays Center, but those of us, like, it's the Garden. The Garden's the Garden. That speaks for itself. But nevertheless, nothing new for Worlds, but the one big update that we did get that has a lot of the community kind of divided into two different camps is the new side selection that is going to be happening across LoL esports. Early reports came out, I think it was a week or two ago, that I think the LPL and possibly their like promotion league, or not promotion leagues, but their academy leagues were going to be doing the system where you decouple side selection from first pick, second pick. Meaning if you want first pick, that does not always mean that you're going to be on blue side. What will happen is you go in, the team that gets their choice can either pick first pick or second pick or red side, blue side. Now, in my opinion, it's going to be mostly first pick, second pick, and where you want the strategic advantage in terms of how you pick your champions. But there are certain situations that could pop up where you know the pool of champions that are available. They do prefer red side, or the power balance of champions could just tilt that way. And a team makes a ballsy decision to make that choice. I'm going to compare this to an onside kick, okay? You don't always have to do it. You can. 99% of the time, it's going to be a standard kickoff. You just kick it back. But in the cases where it could be applicable, that 1% to 2%, those small instances, could mean a lot. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. And it adds a level of strategic depth to the game that's not too overbearing. That's not too like exclusionary for casuals to not understand. And I know there's this argument of, oh, well, we need the game to be as close to the public game as possible. Trust me, as a Call of Duty fan, I've been dealing with this argument with GAs and beyond for years. I'm well aware of like this side of things, but I don't think this is any sort of complex difference between the two in any way, shape, or form. When you load onto the Rift, the game's exactly the same. It's just during draft, and you can put a big old star on who has first pick or second pick. It might look weird, but it also will start conversations for people. So to those freaking out, I don't think you have anything to freak out about. It doesn't change anything majorly within the game all that much. Hall of Legends will be returning this year. Not much to say on that. But the big one, the title itself, is that in an update around modernizing our financial structure for 2026 and going forward in LoL esports, Riot has made the choice to, quote, remove regional prize pools in the global revenue pool and redirect those funds into deeper and more more impactful areas. My question would be, what does that mean? Oh, also, I'm seeing the note finally that says due to deferring partnership models, prize pools for CB LoL and LCP will not be affected. Interesting, good to know. So this is just the LCS, the LEC, and the LCK, which I guess are kind of like there's still a difference in major and minor regions. Unironically, even though they're not calling it that, there is in terms of the money. Like you were saying that the financial structures basically set it up so where we kind of are. And honestly, I don't mind this. This might be a controversial opinion, but I don't mind getting rid of prize pools in leagues that are realistically set up for prestige. Like if teams want to give bonuses for winning LCS and tie that onto contracts, I think that's more valuable, and the general prestige of winning the title. Like it's not like the money's made all that big of a difference. This isn't the international where we have like $26 million prize pools that we're competing for. That's life-changing money. These guys are making a salary. Like those prize pools are really not all that much. It's not saying it's not nothing, but in theory, this money being funneled to other areas, which could then increase their salary if the financial structure is right. I think they'll take the guaranteed money over just winning, with obviously clauses in their contract to get them more money if they do win. If teams are properly incentivizing their contracts, that would be a thing. My problem with this just is, what do you mean when you say deeper and more impactful areas? Because one of the first things that comes to my mind is, hey, could we use that money to get us like team icons and stuff in the game? Which I know some of you might be thinking, oh, well, that happens for Worlds. No, I mean, every team that's a part of your LoL esports ecosystem, in the same way Valorant has capsules at the beginning of the year, Give me my way to support my team. What meaningful thing are you doing to drive revenue in this space beyond just like, again, those one-off skins that might be introduced for first stand? What new is happening here? What am I doing to strengthen my tie with my team that allows me to spend more money on the esport? You can't, or at least Riot side, you cannot get away anymore with just saying that you're going to be doing more or have more impactful areas without saying what those impactful areas are. And maybe that announcement's coming in a future time, possibly. I don't know. The reason why I wanted to get this video out now on a Saturday at what will be 2 o'clock by the time this is published is because there will be an LCS address on Monday that I want to specifically talk about in addition to the NA Tag Team thing. So I think Monday morning you can expect an NA Tag Team video, and I'm going to live stream my reaction to that, and you'll have a video out on Tuesday talking about the LCS address and everything going on there. So a lot of content coming next week. The next 2 weeks of content are going to be pretty big on this channel. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to like and subscribe. But that's pretty much it for the LoL Esports update. Really not much, and there really shouldn't be. Like, there's no major changes that are coming, which is a good thing. But I just want to see this ecosystem become more self-sustaining in the way that fans can invest in their teams, and that's how the ecosystem becomes sustainable. We're seeing that a little bit in the LEC and the LCK, not so much in the LCS. So I'm curious to see what this means. But overall, yeah, Worlds in New York, and first stand in a studio full of 200 people, which nobody that qualifies for that, if they win their region for the LCS or the LEC, they didn't get any money doing so. So that's that. All right, see you all in the next video.